Hi Booktube, my name's Nadine, welcome back to my channel. As tomorrow we find out what our Booktube number 3 spin book choice is, I thought today would be a good time to discuss the book that I had for book spin number 2, which I read. And that was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. The only other Patrick Ness book that I'd read before was A Monster Calls, and I absolutely loved it. So I was really looking forward to reading this one. And it didn't disappoint. So it is a YA sort of contemporary novel with some mild fantasy thrown in. I wouldn't call it a fantasy novel particularly. So each chapter starts out with a few paragraphs about what is going on in that time period of the chapter. So, for example, chapter the 11th, in which Satchel, mourning her friends but pressing on feistily, keeps researching her amulets with the card catalogue. The mysterious boy appears in her bedroom one night and his first words are, "I'm sorry." He tells her he is the prince in the court of the immortals. His mother, the empress, wants to take over this world, sensing great food here to feed their immortality. They seek to open more fissures, find more permanent vessels in which to live, but the prince has fallen in love with Satchel from afar and can't stand idly by while her world is enslaved. "I've come to help," he says. They kiss. Each chapter starts off with that sort of thing, just absolutely crammed full of chosen one fantasy tropes. The sort of thing, if you were a fan of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Smallville, if you're a bit older like me, you would be familiar with. But the chapters, the book, is not about those characters at all. It is about the background characters who are just trying to get on with their normal day-to-day lives and try not to get dragged into whatever the hell the indie kids have got going on. So the book itself follows Mikey and his group of friends as they are nearing their graduation. It's weeks away. And the changes that they're facing and the anxiety of that change happening, you know, they're about to be split up from each other. They're a close-knit group of friends and they're all going to different colleges. They have issues with parents, they have issues with each other, and it's really nice to see how their relationships are affected by things that are going on in their lives. I also really liked the diverse range of characters in this. I mean, you've got people in here that are suffering from, you know, mental health issues and, you know, issues with their sexuality, issues with family and relationships. So yeah, I really liked that. It's nice to see that kind of representation in a book. Also, the pacing in this was really good. It just kind of trips along. It's a really fast read. My only downside really is I did feel as though some of the characters were a little bit two-dimensional. They could have been fleshed out a little bit more. I'm thinking Nathan in this, who felt very much like a tool, just thrown in by Patrick Ness just to create a little bit more angst. And yes, he was needed for the story, but he didn't feel particularly real to me. And then at one point as well, you find out what his particular issues are that he's dealing with. But it's kind of only really mentioned in passing, and that's something that I think could have been explored a little bit more perhaps. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed this. Probably 3.5, 4 out of 5 I would give it. I'm really pleased I read it. I don't think I'll ever read it again. It's kind of done now. But yes, definitely enjoyed. And I can't wait to see what I get given to read tomorrow. So that is my very short review of The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. Thank you very much. Goodbye.